Hello everyone, welcome back! I'm Gaming Quitte, the most delicious Quitte of them all. Today we're going to talk about the newly announced units Faris and Gabriel, which will be featured on the Divine Deception Summon Showcase. Let's start with Faris. Faris is a 5-star long-range Manacaster, so his Manacaster mode is the same as former Joachim. Just like the other apostles, Faris also has the sigil mechanic, which means he basically needs to unlock the sigil before reaching max potential. We'll talk about this ability for him in detail soon. His first skill, Carbunculus Balletto, deals 2709% damage and inflicts Scorch Rend. When his sigil is released, this skill deals 2 hits of 1507% damage, totaling in roughly 3000% damage, while also still inflicting Scorch Rend. When the sigil is released, he inflicts the Uriel's Wrath debuff on the enemy, which has 3 stages. On the first stage, it reduces the enemy strength by 15%, on second stage by 20%, and on the third stage by 30%, while also reducing Scorch Rend resistance by 20%. Every time you use S1, you inflict the debuff on the enemy and raise the level, which then runs out after a bit. If the debuff is at level 2 when it runs out, it goes down to level 1 for example. If the debuff is on level 3 while you apply it, it just resets the timer for level 3. The Carbunculus Balletto skill is his shareable skill, which has quite a high cost on other units, but it seems like the upgraded version of the skill will be used when shared, which is pretty amazing. His second skill, Prudence Knowledge, gives Faris the Uriel's Blessing effect. This gives him 3 charges of Reflexive Evasion. This is a completely new effect, and judging by the rest of his kit, this probably gives him an automatic dodge. I honestly would have waited until release to make this video simply for this one ability to make sure I'm correct, but I can't make a video the next 2 days, so I just had to do it today. If my guess is wrong, I will just post a correction in the comments. As a Manacaster, he gets the Standard Gauge Accelerator core ability and the Chain core ability that increases wind resistance if the HP of the user is at 80% or higher. Like I already mentioned, Faris has the sigil mechanic that all apostles have. The locked sigil debuff starts at the beginning of the quest and has a timer of 300 seconds. It also gives Faris a unique Force Strike. When Faris charges his Force Strike and gets hit by an attack, which can be avoided with iframes, so basically most attacks except purples, he will automatically dodge and deal flame damage to the enemy while also inflicting the Uriel's Wrath debuff. Jeez. This means keeping up the debuff on the enemy really shouldn't be a problem. Every time Faris dodges an attack using this ability, the remaining time on the sigil debuff will be reduced by 36 seconds and will not activate again for 10 seconds. Once the sigil is released, Faris deals 35% more damage to enemies inflicted by Scorch Rend, increases the damage dealt by standard attacks and force strikes, and his skills fill up quicker. His skills also fill up quicker by 12% when he has the Uriel's Blessing effect, which is the effect he gets from his second skill. Faris is a sleep resistant unit and has another way of inflicting Uriel's Wrath with his third ability. Whenever Faris dodges an attack, for example by rolling, or I would guess with the effect of his second skill, he inflicts Uriel's Wrath on the enemy. This ability does not activate again for 15 seconds. Faris does quite a lot, and I feel like he might be really good on Legend Walk in Berserk mode, since his abilities seem to make dodging the attacks without a marker a bit easier. I also think, if the AI plays him correctly, he could be good on the backline in an auto composition. He reduces strength while getting stronger when dodging and also enables more inflictions of Scorch Rend. It makes me kinda sad that I won't be able to summon for him, as this will be the first Manacaster unit I will not have. But well, that's just how things do be like right now. Since he is a permanent unit, there's always a chance he will pop up in the future, but if you absolutely want him, summoning on this banner would be the best chance for a while, unless he's eligible for the Dream Summoning on 2.5 anniversary. Now let's talk about Gabriel. She's a water dragon which seems to be tailor-made for Pinon, which kinda makes sense, since she's Pinon's sigil-bound dragon and basically her mother that wants to protect her at all costs. This also shows in her kit, which is more defense based, although her first ability gives the unit she's equipped on a nice strength boost. Her skill Angelic Devotion is pretty straightforward. It inflicts frostbite and one hit of 1722% damage in a straight line. Like I mentioned, her first ability gives a 60% strength boost. Her second ability, Gabriel's Favor, is pretty interesting. Every time the unit's HP gets restored, they will get the Gabriel's Love effect. This increases strength by 10% and defense by 50%. The effects are lost upon taking damage. On top of these effects, the ability also grants a one-use shield which nullifies damage up to 10% of the user's max HP. This actually stacks with ordinary shields, but the effect itself will not stack with itself and can only activate every 10 seconds. The water element has some really amazing dragons, and it's going to be really difficult for a new dragon to be good there. So honestly, Gabriel won't be better on most units, I think. She does help on Pinon though, since Pinon's buff gets killed every time she takes damage. Since Gabriel can just straight up negate chip damage with the shield, it helps Pinon not lose her buff and smaller, unavoidable damage comes at her way. My buddy Orthodox also reminded me that Gabriel would help Catherine be stronger, since she also loses her buff stacks whenever she takes damage. I also think that Gabriel can be helpful in auto comms, since she makes units way tankier with her ability. She basically gives a 70% strength buff and a 50% defense buff when the effect is active, while also giving the shield which can help keep these effects activated. On paper, it sounds pretty good for auto comms and might help if you need more survivability in co-op. Sadly, there are better options for water units in general, I'm afraid. The bunnies are just too dang good. And yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope it helped you a little bit. And if it did, leave a like and tell me in the comments below what you think about these new units. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe for more Dragalia Lost content and some other gacha content I occasionally do. If you want to talk to cool people about Dragalia Lost, join our Discord, the link is in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye!